For Islam, spokesperson of the BJP. Thank you, gentlemen. I would like to start by asking you, Mr. Rijal,
Yes.
that you must understand, and I don't want to be giving gratuitous advice to you, maybe General Bakshi can debate this with you better, but China is nobody's friend. China is alone in the world now. In the world community, China is alone. You are also very aware that this sudden interest in Indian territory, it's laughable. You are, of course, an important nation, but if you think you're squaring off with India on border issues, you should be dreaming. It's never going to happen. We're not going to talk to you about it. But I only wanted to start by telling you this, that the Lipu Lake Pass in Kalapani, which is in Indian territory, is a very important vantage point for India to keep an eye on Chinese movements. So strategically, we keep an eye on Chinese movements for a long time. Yeah, let me complete my question, sir. My question is,
okay,
China, I believe that you are just being egged on by China. China is using you because Lipu Lake Pass in Kalapani is an important strategic point for India to keep an eye on Chinese movements, right, for a long time, for more than 40, 50 years, right? You must not compromise the India-Nepal friendship just to give China a small strategic advantage. Also, personally, I am of the view that it makes Nepal look like a, what you call a rentier state of China. You need not take Chinese foreign policy as your own interests, and you should not aggravate the situation with India. Now, you are free to make your point. Yes, go ahead, sir.
First of all, I mean, the way you're saying me, it sounds like you're giving me a statement, giving me a message. That's certainly not the style how television interviews are done in Nepal. First of all, I mean, if you ask me where Nepal stands, what are the facts, how we think this should be resolved, and then I'll be able to answer that question. I very strongly would like to put this fact that the border issue is an outstanding issue. India is committed to resolve this through bilateral means, diplomatic means. This is precisely what your government has said. I mean, when we sent a note that the foreign secretaries of both sides should hold meeting, hold consultation, the letter that we received was once two nations and two societies are done dealing with the challenges of the COVID-19 crisis, then two countries can sit down. We have said, I mean, this can be done even earlier. So I would not like to incite this further, but the thing is, we have said very clearly that we would like to present all the evidences that are there, and then government of India can also produce its evidences.
No.
Both sides can sit down and talk, sir, and then this could be resolved.
You know, that way with
China is not doing, and what I should do and what I should not do. This is not what you should be saying. You should be asking my
Mr.
opinion.
Rijal,
you may disagree with me.
Mr. Rijal, let me tell you what is offensive. I am being very subtle and very polite. On the other hand, may I tell you what is may I tell you what is offensive? I'll give you an example. And I don't know how interviews are done in Nepal, but I know how they are done in India. This is how we do it. Your country's Prime Minister has said.
First of all, I mean, let me make it very clear that if we do not respect as people of two different nations, if we do not respect each other as individuals who have their views,
so the comment from the,
then we probably would not have a very nice conversation. But we have to be very clear. China has to do anything with what happens here. I do not agree that you. I mean, this probably you can say for the public consumption in India. I can understand that, but the thing is,
can I give you an evidence of that?
India has its own position. Nepal has its own position. Eminent persons group has identified this point as outstanding border.
No, it's
point.
Not. No. Which eminent persons group, sir?
Both sides have agreed.
Which eminent persons group, sir? 1 second. Which eminent persons group, I may ask you?
Nepal has not taken any.
Which eminent persons group?
I mean, you're stopping me only. I mean, if you do not let me speak,
sir, I'm known to ask counter questions, Mister. I don't understand why. No. Do I have to be subservient to you?
Let me first respond to.
Do I have to be subservient to you?
If you do not, no, please, Arnav, if you do not let me respond to Mr. Bakshi, then I mean, There is absolutely no point of having me on the television.
No, but am I
very
not allowed to
honestly say,
counter
if
you on anything?
Do not let me respond to that. Then why do you have me on the television? Can I respond?
Wenli is a Chinese official. In 2017, India and China were locked in eyeball to eyeball situation in Doklam, okay, in Sikkim. China eventually retreated because there was such massive mobilization on the Indian side. They realized. Now let me tell you, listen to the full story. Listen to this. Mr. Renji, please listen. Let me complete. I request you to let me complete. I'll take 10 more seconds. At that time, you know what the Chinese said? The Chinese said the following: what will New Delhi do? We have been defeated in Doklam, okay, but what will you do if we enter through the Kalapani region of Nepal? You go and check. How did the Chinese say that in 2017?
You're just making it
I
up.
am not making it up, sir. You are astonishingly unaware on this. This is a comment made by Wang Wenli,
you're not
Deputy
letting me speak.
Director General of the Boundary and Ocean Affairs, speaking in response
you're
to
not
External
letting me
Affairs
speak at
Minister,
all.
then
This
Sushma
is
Swaraj.
not how it's done.
Sir,
I very strongly resent it. You're making your point of view.
I am asking you, I am only asking you, sir, how did the Chinese read your mind?
Are you making a statement?
How did the Chinese read your mind? Question. Not statement, question. How did the Chinese read your mind? Question, no statement. How did the Chinese read your mind?
You're making a statement.
I am asking a question.
You're not
How
letting
did the
me speak.
Chinese
You're making a statement.
raise the Kalapani issue 3 years back?
First of all, you have to understand our two governments, government of Nepal and government of India, at the secretary level have agreed that this is an outstanding issue. We have agreed that we will attend to it, and government of India has said that after the two countries are done dealing with the corona crisis, the secretary level meeting can be held.
No,
and
sir.
China, government of India has said that we are ready and willing to look
we're
at
not going to talk.
and we are ready
so Mr. Rijal, Sushant Sareen wants to respond to you. Sushant. Minendra Rijal into the debate. Let me tell you, Mr. Rijal, you are a good opposition leader in the Nepalese House of Representatives of their federal parliament. You are a member of the House of Representatives of Nepal's federal parliament. We respect you, but it is my responsibility to share something very important with you. If you don't mind, I will take 30 seconds to share it with you. I will just 30 seconds, sir. Please don't mind. I'm sharing this with you.
Okay, I will wait.
Sir, let me tell you what your government is doing, which is wrong. And I'll take 30 seconds, sir. Sir, you are trying to keep the Chinese happy by attacking India on issues like Kalapani because of two reasons. One, you can use this as a rationale to argue with the Chinese on their stake in Everest, on which the Chinese are also building a Huawei 5G tower. A. B. You are hoping that this will save your economy that will be badly hit after COVID, because you have a landlocked country. You are trying to increase the use of Chinese ports to export your goods to the rest of the world while reducing your dependence on India. My own view is, if I can summarize, this is a very short-term perspective. The Chinese know that your economy is going to come under pressure after COVID. They are putting pressure on you. They are compromising your sovereignty. I would only request you, sir, as will I'm sure the representative of the BJP, don't fall for this trap.
Now can I say something?
Please.
First, let's first respect that we are people from two different nations. It's my turn to say. We're people from two different nations. We have our own perspective. You have your perspective. We know this is an outstanding issue. Governments of two countries can sit down and resolve it. This can be resolved between two countries diplomatically. Nepal and India have been very good friends. But as far as Nepal is concerned, our relationship with China is concerned, we decide who our friends are. You don't decide who our friends are, who our foes are. India is very important to us. China also is a very important country. We know the importance of our relationship with India. We know the importance of our relationship with China. So you do not decide who to be friends.
You can't play both ways.
Respond to you, please.
You can't play both ways.
Mr. Rijal.